Experiment. Explore. Enjoy.
Hey Dom,
Hey Nick,
how are you?
good to see you.
Loving the screens. No expense spared here.
Yeah,
You look like a
just-
rock star, man.
I know, I just came yesterday, they prepared everything for me.
And the green room must be amazing. I'd imagine all that. Yeah.
Of course, you know, it's montage, so you have to have the surroundings to go with it, right?
Yeah, lovely. We saw a little bit of this at NAMM when it was just out. So I'm
Yep.
guessing you've probably had a bit more time to live with it and eke out some of the more interesting parts. So let's see what you're going to show us, right?
Yeah, I have some really exciting, really super boothy things to show you. First of all, there's a new operating system update for the Montage M, and
okay.
it's a huge one, and you'll see what I mean, it's really big. First of all, and I'm going to start with things that are cool, but I'm going to go to the really, really cool stuff a little bit later. We have SmartMorph for the ANX engine now. Now, if you're not aware what SmartMorph is, it's basically a feature that allows you to take multiple sounds, FMX or now ANX as well. Let's say you have like a synth bass, you have a pad, you have a polysynth or something like this. You combine all of these and it does some calculations and it gives you a super sound where you can morph between all those different sounds.
I think we first saw that with just FMX, didn't we?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right,
It was there with the FMX, but now it's there for the ANX as well. So I'm going to give you an example. This is how it looks like. And this is actually a sound. It's very easy for me because I've designed this sound. It's going to be on the new update, so you're going to get this. And let's say I have this nice pad sound. I can just start morphing. And I can go to a brass sound. No interruptions, no clicks, and actually if you check over there, you can see
what the envelopes are doing. Yeah.
all the parameters change, and that's just the filter. If I go to amplitude, you will see the same story and all the things just change and morph. And basically you can start from, and when you're performing, it's completely seamless. So let's go back to the beginning. Polyphonic aftertouch, of course. And now I can go.
That reverb is killer, isn't it? Is that shimmer of some sort? That is.
Yes. Oh my. You spoiled it. That's great. Very good ear, because that's the next thing that I'm going to show you. But before I get there, let me show you what else you can do. So this is, for example, again, a sound that I've created, and it's going to be in the new update. So this is called Morph ANX drums. And this, I'm going to show you. Basically, you can morph between different analog drum sounds. So if I go here, and you can see the waveforms changing as well. Let me add some. So if I go like this, so you see all these things going on.
Nice, and you've got that. That's the right.
So let me show you. So
Sweet.
really super boothy, if you didn't have enough of this already. So the second thing that you already spotted.
New reverb algorithms, right? Okay.
Exactly. So we have a new Shimmer Reverb, which in my opinion is like a huge thing, because most of the times if you want to get like a good Shimmer Reverb, you have to buy like a pedal, and we know which pedals, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
This is all inside now, so let me just show you. This is again a sound that you will find on the new OS 2, and just very simple plug sound. I want to show you how it sounds. And just to give you an idea, I'm going to just solo the shimmer. So it's like an extra synth layer.
Well, people don't know that, but Yamaha have made reverbs, like hardware reverbs,
Exactly.
forever. I mean, the Rev 7, Rev 1, right, way back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Way back.
And such the SPXs, all these things is so good. So this is a fully featured Shimmer Reverb, but the great thing is, that's what I enjoy, is that you can actually control it. So I'm
Right, so you got
changing the pitch in real time. Again, you have no problems like, oh, my CPU is gonna go nuts if I
Effects
do
modulation, patch points, yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
So I want to show you another thing. This is like a kind of Vangelis inspired sound, and I'll show you what happens if I turn on the shimmer. It's like I'm adding a synth layer. So now, shimmer. So it's like you add like this kind of dreamy soundscape without even doing any, you know, intricate sound design. Just add the shimmer, and you can actually do a lot of things like change the time, change the feedback. You can modulate it. You can do
is that a master effect or an insert effect?
Yeah, it's like, it's not a master effect. It's one of the variations effects. So you can have it right here. And
so is that per part, or is it a global thing?
It's a global thing. It's a global thing.
I was going to say, one per part.
Very,
imagine one per part. That would be insane.
that would be. I think you would need a lot of power for this to run it. So, but it's great. It's there, and I want to show it to you on a different sound. This is a piano. This is the CFX2, and that's brand new piano that's included in this new update as well. And again, like with a shimmer. And of course I can automate it.
Right, so you got some gating of the return or the sender. Yeah, the return.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really powerful what you can do with it. The next thing that we have is a new modifier for the ANX, and this is the wave folder. So I'm going to show you a sound, but I'm going to just start with a simple sine wave. Let's try this one. This is called Flaming Dragon. So
is that a sync or a fold?
That's a sync, but I'm running it through the folder. And I'm going to show you just so that you don't see anything too fancy, because this is like a very complicated sound. Just a sine wave, right? Now, if you're on, you know, your mobile phone, you won't be able to hear anything. But now, if I add a little bit of the wave folder here, and actually, let's check out the waveform here. So that's the soft, and I can also go hard. I'm gonna try and be not too dramatic because it can get really aggressive. But the great thing is that this is all modulated. You can say, I want to, let's go back to soft, and I'm going to go here, and we have an envelope.
Ah, nice.
So it's great for creating kick drums because you can go, let's add a little bit of it. Oh, depth.
Oh, nice front end. Yeah, a bit.
So, or I can modulate it using LFO. So go to LFO. So if you want to get really aggressive, the other way that you can use this is if you want to start modulating the actual waveforms, and you want to add a little bit of variation, you add just a little bit of it with a LFO, and it creates this weird kind of morphing sound. You don't want too much, but just a tip. It's really cool there. So that's the other thing. We have many other different things, you know, some improvements. So for example, if you have like a drawbar sound, you can have the drawbar showing up like this.
Oh, that's a bit handy, isn't it?
And something that I really enjoy is the FM improvements. So now, if you're on the FM sound and you want to edit it, I don't know if you're gonna be, it's easy to see on the camera, but the operators have this dim kind of light here where the modulators are really bright. So it's very easy to see at a glance what's an operator and what's a modulator.
Right, good.
You don't have to necessarily check what your algorithm is. So if I want to say, or I know that these are my operators. So it's very easy to figure out and start modulating and doing like sound design on the fly for FM.
Nice.
So many other things, but I'm going to jump into the next star of the show today.
Shall I come round?
Yes, of course. And this is the new ESP, so expanded soft synth plugin for Montage M.
Yeah, because we saw this briefly at NAMM
With Blake,
in the year with
right?
Blake, yeah.
I saw your video, very nice. So I'll show you how that works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, the Montage doesn't play anymore. It's all like just a MIDI keyboard for Cubase at this stage. And now what we have here is pretty much
The same
your
thing.
Montage inside your computer. And the great thing is, you don't necessarily need to have your Montage connected to it. You can take all the sounds, you can do sound design because you can now have full edits possibilities for all the sounds. I don't want to talk too much, I can show you straight away. So the first sound that I played for you is right here. I'm going to play it here as well. And again, I can do my super. So
And that's got the shimmer in as well, so that's had the same OS update, right?
Exactly.
So it's parity across the operating systems, is that?
It's the same. It's pretty much what you get here, you can get it here. And that's great because obviously I can, let's say you are a touring musician, right? And you have your Montage, you send it to the place where you're going to gig, but you don't have it for a few days. And you want to start kind of, oh, I want to change something on my live sets or change the sound or add a sound. You can do it right here. My live sets, if you go here, see, all the live set that I have here is emulated here. It's exactly the same thing. And if I change something here and say, oh, you know, I want to add like a new pad sound because it's going to go well with that song, I can add it here. When I get to the place where I have my Montage, I can just transfer everything and it will just sync straight away.
So when you say pretty much, there must be a caveat there. I mean, obviously you could get the same number of outputs.
It's the same thing. The only thing that's not implemented yet, it's the SmartMorph.
Right.
So you can't do the thing that I showed you right here yet, but it will play sounds created with a SmartMorph. So it's not like you don't...
Yeah, okay, so it all sounds compatible, right?
And everything else is let me show you. For example, I have this one. I can change the scenes, and I can actually do this from the Montage as well.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to set up anything. I'm using a beta here, and I never had to kind of tinker with any settings to make it work. The super knob is already assigned. You can see all the different parameters with the SmartMorph changing at the same time.
Also means you can run additional instances, right? So you could have sort of more Montage voices.
Absolutely.
And blend between hardware and software, or run multiple instances of the same
Yeah,
plugin?
you can run as many instances as you want. I mean, as many as your computer can handle, because now you don't have the DSPs giving you all the help, you know, and all this power. You're relying on your computer, but you know, you can just run as many as you need. I think like 16 parts is going to be plenty for most people for a live scenario, but I want to show you the new edit stuff. So everything is right there. You see your waves, your waveforms, you can see the new modifier, and
I guess in some ways it might be easier to edit some things because it's just you've got a bigger screen and you can kind of
Yeah.
And I guess automation might be a bit more straightforward.
Yeah, everything is like automation should. It's a VST, an AU plugin, so everything should be fine if you just load it on, you know, like on your DAW. Now it doesn't run standalone, but if you want to use it standalone, all the Montage users just have the Cubase AI, so it's free, so you can run it inside Cubase AI, but it's not standalone yet.
So the only other thing is obviously it's linked to Montage owners. So if you're away from your Montage and it says, hey, wait a minute, where's the Montage? How does the authorization work for that?
You don't have any problems. It just works.
All right.
So
okay.
it's not that you need the Montage as a big dongle to just run the software. You just have the software, and the great thing is you can say, okay, I want to load a backup file from my Montage to the actual plugin, or the other way around. So there's a two-way communication. So if the great thing for me is that you're working on a studio, you do your sound design, and you want to be very specific with your parameters, and you want to do your edits in your computer, type them because you can type all the parameters.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, now I want to dump all of this into the montage. You do it, and even the libraries that could be samples, you can also transfer those as well. And now it's not like just a simple, player. You can actually do the editing, which is huge.
So this newer OS, I guess because it's coming with some more piano. It's a download to free registered users for the OS the.
Yeah, the OS 2. It's if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be out end of June, and the same with the ESP. So this is going to be a free update for everyone. ESP is the same, so if you're a registered Montage user, you can just download it.
So does this work with all Montage, or just Montage past a certain kind of point?
It's Montage M.
Has to be an M.
So
right.
the previous one didn't have these capabilities, and obviously the new operating system is only for the Montage M. But all this stuff, the Shimmer Reverb, the new SmartMorph, all these things, the new waveforms are going to be in the new update, and it's all free.
Dom, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you, guys. Cheers.